Moving on to the next question. Illustration number 65, page number 8.103. Issued 1 lakh shares, then 1,90,000 shares were received, so oversubscription. Split up is given. With application and allotment you have premium. Then categories are given, like 2 categories, applied number and allotted numbers are given. Remaining applications were rejected. Did you see first category, how many shares applied given? 50. Second category, 1 lakh shares. Altogether, what is the applied number? Total applied number is 1,90,000 and first 2 categories total is 1,50,000. So what is the balance? 40,000 is the balance which company rejected. Understood that 40 they didn't specify it, but that is the meaning. So out of 1,90,000, 1,50,000 they have done on prorata, balance 40 is rejected. Rajat, a shareholder belonging to category 1 who had applied for 2,500, so allotted number you need to get, failed to pay the amount due on allotment and first call, so individual calculation is needed. His shares were immediately forfeited, so forfeiture journal entry is coming in between. So when you take the next installment, when you write the next installment, you must deduct the cancelled number, that you must remember. Rima, a shareholder belonging to category 2, was holding 3,000 shares, failed to pay the first call and second call money. So no need of individual calculation, and holding means allotted number is also given, so no calculation for Rima. Her shares were also forfeited. So after the second call, her shares were forfeited. So 2 forfeiture entries, 1 in between. Afterwards, 4,000 shares were reissued at 8 per share, fully paid up. These included all shares of Rima. So again you have to do that partial reissue formula for Rima. Sorry, not for Rima, for the for the shareholder called Rajat. Pass necessary journal entries. So we will start with working note, again the same type. So here, this is illustration 65. Company calculation, that is total application money received on how many shares you will take, 1,90,000 into, okay, we will write the split tip, that is 343. 343, that is application, allotment, first call, second call, and we are collecting 10 plus 2, 12. So what is the balance? 3 plus 4, 7 plus 3, 10 plus 2. And there is premium with application and allotment, that is 1 each. So this is premium amount. Okay, so this is the split tip. So 1,90,000 into 3, 5,70,000 less actual application money on how many shares? It is the actual 1 lakh into 3, so 3 lakhs. So excess will be 2,70,000 less what we should write? Rejection. How many shares did we reject? 40, that is 1,90,000 minus that 1,50,000. Didn't we discuss before? 1,90,000 they applied in 2 categories. They have given 50 and 1 lakh, and the balance means 40,000, that being rejected. So 40,000 into, it is 3 per share the application. So 1,20,000 got refunded or rejected. Balance is 1,50,000. This will be prorata. Okay, so that is prorata entry. Then next is the individual calculation we will do for Rajat. You have to get the number of shares. For Rajat, allotted is given, so applied you have to compute. Write the formula: total shares applied under prorata. What is total shares applied under prorata? For that, they have specifically given two categories, and Rajat is belonging to category 1, where what is the applied shares under prorata? It is 50,000 divided by 40,000. Understood? Allotted is 40,000 for category 1. So I have separately given, so you just have to take the figures. 50,000 by 40,000 into applied number is, applied is given in the question, isn't it? So it must be the reverse. Rajat, applied number is given, so actually you have to take the allotted shares, you have to compute the allotted shares. So the formula will be total shares allotted means that is 40,000 under category 1, then applied is 50,000 into number of shares applied by Rajat is 2,500. This is the calculation. So the number will be 2,000 is the number of shares allotted. Now you have to do the individual calculation. How will you do? That is total application money received. Total application money received on 2,500. So 2,500 into 3. Then actually you received only on 2,000. So less actual application money. This is the actual number of shares. So 2,000 into 3. This is the actual number. So this is 7,500. This is 6,000. So the excess is 1,500. Next, what should be right? Allotment money. Allotment money due. On how many shares? It would be on 2,000 shares. Into allotment per share is 4 per share. That is 8,000. So less excess, that 1,500 we will deduct. The balance 6,500 would be the calls in arrears at the time of allotment. So we got calls in arrears for allotment. The individual calculation is over. You can start writing journal entries. First one, the bank account debtor to share application, then transferring to share capital, refund entry, allotment due, allotment received, in between prorata entry will come. All these you must write yourself, because in previous questions also we were doing the same steps. So write it till allotment, you must write. Remember, you must include refund entry as third entry. Prorata entry must come in between allotment due and allotment received. Then there is premium with application and allotment. When I say like this, you may find it difficult. So you write and see, it is similar to the previous question. Then after allotment, the company forfeited, no? When did they forfeit actually? Just read the question. Failed to pay the amount due on allotment and first call. Okay, not after allotment. After first call, the company is forfeiting the shares. Okay, so till allotment, you write the journal entries. I will write from first call. So first call due entry. It is equity share, no? Yes. So equity share, first call account debtor to equity share capital. There is no premium with first call. Okay. So this is the entry, and calculation would be on 1 lakh shares, 1 lakh into 3 per share. So 3 lakhs. Now we will write the bank entry. That time there is calls in arrears. So entry would be bank account debtor, calls in arrears account debtor to equity share first call. Equity share first call, just take from the previous entry, that is 3 lakhs. Calls in arrears you have to take carefully. Here Rajat didn't pay the first call, then Rima also didn't pay the first call. Did you see that? And only after first call company is forfeiting. So when you write the calls in arrears, you have to take Rajat's and Rima's number. So Rajat was holding 2000 shares. Don't take the applied number. The allotted number you have to take into what is first call per share, 3 per share plus. Rima was holding how many shares? Rima was holding 3000 shares into, it is 3 per share. So 6000 and 9000. So calls in arrears will be 15,000 and the balance you can write for bank. 2,85,000 you can write for bank account. So this is how you have to write. Remember, Rajat's and Rima's both failed to pay the first call. Only after that company is doing forfeiture. So these two you must add and take. Next we will write the forfeiture journal entry, that is equity share capital account debtor. Okay, you have to see whether premium is received or not. Did we receive premium? Rajat didn't pay allotment, means he didn't pay the premium. So SPR must be debited. So securities premium reserve account debtor to forfeited shares to calls in arrears. Yes, so this is how the entry is. Now forfeited shares means what you received from Rajat. Rajat's shares are getting cancelled because of non-payment. So 2000 shares into what we received from Rajat is application, only the application, that is 3, but it includes premium. If premium is received, you have to ignore premium completely. That means 3 minus 1, you can take here only 2. Plus there is an excess amount you received from Rajat, which is the excess amount, this 1500. So it will be 5500. Understood? The excess amount also you have to add and take. Then calls in arrears for Rajat, that means allotment calls in arrears. You just take the allotment calls in arrears, it is there in your working note. Allotment calls in arrears is 6500. Then he didn't pay the first call. First call calls in arrears, we have added Rajat's and Rima. So if you look into the entry, you have added calls in arrears for these two. Now we are writing only for Rajat, because now Rajat's shares are getting cancelled, not Rima's. So you have to take this figure. This is the calls in arrears for first call. That is for Rajat. So that is 6000. So altogether it is 12500, the calls in arrears. And here SPR would be 2000, that is the Rajat's allotted number, into which premium you did not receive from Rajat. It is the allotment premium of 1. So it is 2000 and the balance you can write for share capital, that is 16,000. The next one is second call entry. So now what you have to remember is, when you do second call, you can't make the call on 1 lakh shares because you have cancelled some shares. So equity share second and final call account debtor to equity share capital. There is no premium here also. You can't take 1 lakh. From 1 lakh you have deducted how many shares? You deducted Rajat's share, that is 2000 shares you rejected. So only on 98,000 you are making the second and final call of 2 per share. That you must remember, 2000 shares the company rejected. The allotted number you are taking, not the applied. So it is 1,96,000 Now we can write the bank entry. Which is bank account debtor calls in arrears account debtor to equity share second and final call. Second and final call you take from the previous entry, that is 1,96,000, and here the calls in arrears means Rajat didn't pay allotment and first call, so he will not pay the second call also, but should we consider Rajat's number here? No, because his shares got cancelled already. So you just consider Reema's number, that is 3,000 she was holding, so 3,000 into 2, you have to take calls in arrears as 6,000, that is 3,000 into 2, understood? So bank you can write the balance 1,90,000. Next, again after first call you are forfeiting Reema's shares, so again forfeiture entry we have to write, just see whether premium is received now, yes, because Reema failed to pay the first call and second call, that means we have received premium, so ignore premium completely, no need to debit premium account now, and the journal entry would be equity share capital account debtor to forfeited shares to calls in arrears, and Reema failed to pay the first call and the final call. First call of 3,000 into 3 and the second call of 3,000 into 2. So 6,000 and 9,000, 15,000 is calls in arrears. Then what we received from Reema we have to write here. There is no excess amount we received from Reema. What we received from Reema is application and allotment, that is 3 plus 4 7, includes premium. If premium is received, ignore it. So we have received premium, ignoring premium, it will be 7 minus 2, the premium total is 2, we can take only 5. So it will be 3,000 into 5, 15,000. So total you can write for share capital, that is 30,000. Okay, so the next what you have to write is reissue entry, which you write yourself. Reissue entry you have to write, then you have to write the amount transferred to capital reserve. That time there is partial reissue for one of the shareholders, that is Rajat. Reema's all shares are getting reissued, so no need to apply any formula. For Rajat you have to do partial reissue calculation, apply the formula and get the figure, just like we did the previous question. So complete this question, the reissue entries, then the till allotment also I haven't written, all those you have to write and complete this question.